we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All three judges score this contest 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision, Frankmir.
Frankmir, tough fight. I thought it came down to how they judged that first round. How'd you feel in the fight, bud?
First time I went 3 rounds. I think I'm allowed to win 3 rounds. I need to get my confidence back as a fighter. That helped me. Being in a tough fight, not being technically great, I kind of had to more get it out, you know?
Well, I thought you showed great guts. Talk me through this Mickey's replay here.
Just overhand left works well on tall guys. I was trying to fake the shot. It felt like I faked it, didn't look like it there. I was just trying to get a lot of damage, pound him, beat him up, make him feel miserable on the bottom.
Frankmir, it's great to see you back in here in great form, buddy. Look to see you again at the heavyweight division.
Well, 2 former heavyweight champions visiting there. Frankmir and the natural Randy Couture. Frankmir earns the unanimous decision, and as he said, it's good to help to put his confidence back in the proper placing as he gets back to his winning ways, going the distance.
Tonight, the comeback continues.
If he doesn't tap into a choke and he gets caught in something else, I think he'll scream because I tend on shredding it, you know. I'm back to the old self where if I grab a hold of it, I'm going to try to tear it off.
Coming up next, Brandon the Truth Bearer takes on Frankmir.
I mean, you know you're a confident cat when you win for the first time in the UFC and the first thing you do is call out Chuck Liddell. That tells me you got a little bit of self-confidence.
Yeah, no waning in confidence there. I think what a lot of people don't know about Brandon Bear is he's got very, very good wrestling skills. There's a ranked Greco-Roman athlete who wrestled for the Air Force team. I knew him back then, competed against him back then at the national tournament. Very, very good wrestler. And he's been knocking cats out here with his striking ability. So very, very well-rounded fighter.
He is one of the nicest, most polite young men you will ever meet. Yes, sir. No, sir. Pleasure to see you, sir. He may come off a bit arrogantly and confident when he calls out at Chuck Liddell, but that's really kind of his fight mode. That is not his personality. He's a tremendous young man.
He's a very, very nice kid. I've done some training with him now in recent years. He's a very hard worker. I mean, he does have the total package. He could do very, very well in this sport, and he's well on his way to making a mark in Ultimate Fighting.
Well, you know, it's interesting, Randy, you talk about his grappling. A 2-time Pan American champion, Abu Dhabi veteran, 8-time Grappler's Quest champion, which I know you were involved with in a long, long time. He would prefer to put on the big show and knock people out, but that's probably not what Frankmir's going to try to do. Frankmir's going to try to take it down. Then we'll see how great Bear's skills truly are against a world-class Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt.
I think that's exactly my point. People don't realize because he's been knocking cats out that he has a wrestling and grappling background, and that's what's going to pay dividends for him tonight, is if he can keep this fight standing and stay out of Frankmir's area of strength, which is on the ground.
Brandon the Truth Bearer. Many times called a heavyweight George St. Pierre because he is so multi-dimensional and talented. But is he truly the next big thing? He could make a huge statement here tonight.
Give credit to Frankmir. He doesn't jump in and take an easy fight to try and get back on track. He's going to jump right in there against a guy that's 7-0, on a tear, not been defeated. You know, he's not taking the easy road. He wants to test himself. He looks to be fitter. He looks calm and relaxed. You know, you can see in his eyes that he's got that confidence and swagger back a little bit. I'm anxious to see him compete tonight and see how he does.
After the motorcycle accident in September of 2004 with a broken femur, a rod and 2 screws were inserted in the leg, the big strong leg of Frankmir. He was away from the game for over a year. And oftentimes the doctors kind of said, Randy, that if he weren't such a world-class athlete, he may have not walked normally again, let alone compete back inside the octagon. But because he was so strong and his body was so powerful, he withstood a lot of the damage in which was done in the accident.
It's unfortunate to find himself in a situation like that at the top of his game, standing there holding the belt and, you know, get into a freak accident like that. But that's what champions are made of. He's picked himself up. He's gotten back on track.
Our tale of the tape for this heavyweight showdown brought to you by Synergy. the ultra premium energy drink from Science. Frankmir, 27 years old. Much heavier than Brandon the Truth Vera, who is 2 years older. And it's that weight that Mir wants to make Vera feel tonight, to wear down the smaller opponent, who truly, if he didn't eat as much, could be at 205 pounds. Let's get our official introductions once again from Bruce Buffer. Will a small torch be passed tonight? Mir takes the center of the octagon quickly. Leading with the right, southpaw stance. Straight kick by Vera.
Boy, it's apparent to me right away that Mir's been working on his stand-up skills.
No question, and he took the center of the octagon, as you taught me many years ago, Randy, kind of making that statement.
Oh, nice left hook by Brandon Vera.
Brandon Vera's hands are absolutely tremendous.
Big straight right, another one. Tie clinch, watch the knees. Oh, that one hurt him.
Mir was shaken, and it could be over quickly. Mir is in trouble early. That knee rocked him. Vera works out a ton with
some blood coming out of the right knee, hit him right on the button.
Many consider Rob
he is in deep trouble here. He's
bloodied up.
A crucifix here. Both arms isolated. Brandon can kind of posture here. Mir doing a good job of bucking and getting out of this situation. If I was Brandon, he needs to stand up here. Mir's going to get real dangerous.
Trouble. Mazzicati on top of it. It is all over. It is all over.
Straight right hand right down the pipe.
Bam.
Wham! Goes again for the second one. Stands him up with the straight right. Second right to the tie clinch. Here's the ground and pound. Controlling the underhook on the top side, landing the nice shots. Referee's seen enough.
Wow. You know, one thing that needs to be said, though, is Brandon Vera is so good that Frankmir, although it didn't last long, could be a great Frankmir tonight, but Brandon Vera could just be better at this present day.
Brandon, facing the former heavyweight champion, tell us how you felt coming into this fight.
I was scared, I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. Frankmir was a hero of mine. I've always wanted to be like Frankmir before the accident. Frank, I love you, baby, I hope you come back and do it again. I was scared, baby, I like it now.
Take a look at this replay, Mickey's replay on the big screen here, and talk us through it.
Hit him with a knee. That's how he do the Muay Thai clinch. I just gave it to him again. I missed. He took it to the ground. We went ahead and finished it with a ground and pound. Right hand, got him dizzy. I just had to follow up and keep going, man. Like you ground and pound, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, 8-0 now in the heavyweight division.
If Brock Lesnar could really put it all together, you might see the new archetype of the heavyweight champion.
And he makes his octagon debut at UFC 81 against a former champion anxious to put the newcomer in his place.
You know, he's going to bring his name, his recognition, and turn in a few viewers to get to watch the fight. And Lesnar's bringing a lot with him. And he's going to drop it off at the door before I knock him out and send him home.
Frank Mir looks to return to the heavyweights elite against Lesnar, finally putting the motorcycle accident that nearly ended his career behind him.
I can fight now. Now you'll see Frank Mir.
An inspired, hardworking, mentally right Frank Mir is one of the most dangerous heavyweights in the world. If that Frank Mir is the Frank Mir that's going to show up on the night of the fight, February 2nd, Brock Lesnar's going to wish he was back in the WWE.
Will Brock Lesnar's size and strength earn him a victory, or will the submission specialist stop the NCAA champion? It's former heavyweight champion Frank Mir against Brock Lesnar.
Brock is, without a doubt, one of the most talented athletes I've been in the ring with.
This guy has an incredible work ethic. He doesn't care about all his WWE past.
He wanted to compete. That's the reason why the guy's back in real fighting. That's the reason why the guy has decided to enter into the UFC.
Nice.
Here I am, pro wrestler, thinks he can become mixed martial artist. My number one goal is to be the best heavyweight in the UFC.
And that's no bull.
Brock Lesnar was a fierce amateur competitor. When he was done with his amateur career, he was offered an opportunity to wrestle professional wrestling, and he took it.
At that time, my options were, collegiate-wise, I had a year of eligibility in another sport, finish my 5th year of school, train for the Olympics. I had an opportunity to try out for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tony Dungy, or the sure bet World Wrestling Entertainment.